this is Dorothy with That Scrapbooking, and this is Project 3 of Change of Scenery. So this one has those really cool pine trees along the bottom, and that was one of the die cuts from the bigger craft colored die cut sheet. So cool, and I love the go and the do, all die cuts. So here we go. I'll show you how I made it. So here are all of the pieces that I cut and already ripped. So this is going to be the third project here, and I'm just kind of going along with some of it, but not all. They didn't have a top on the page, and so I wanted to use some of the sky going along the top. So we'll see how that goes. And I'm using the 2 leaves zip strips to go along the bottom. Just like that. So I'm just running it right along the bottom edge. And this is, of course, one of the ripped pieces from the burlap look. And I ripped the top and bottom, and I'm just covering up the straight edge. Super simple. And then I've got, I like the postage paper. That's so cool. So that's the back side is the black and white. And I am going to tuck that under the, well, I'm actually putting it just a little on top. And those trees go every which way. So they kind of look like it's upside down, but they're really going up and sideways and down. So it doesn't really matter what direction you put the paper in. And I'm tucking the postage stamp part under a little bit. So I've got the second leaf zip strip, and I tried tearing it, and it was like, okay, I'm kind of over tearing those 1/2-inch pieces because they're really difficult. So I'm just going to cover up the torn edge that I started with the torn edge of the burlap paper. I have one nail I broke, so I'm going to have to get it fixed. Okay, so I'm putting the matching piece right up next to the left page so that it can kind of be even from one side to the other. And I'm showing the green side. Now, I cut this one wrong, just so you know. So I have this extra little piece. You know, sometimes you do those kind of things, right? So I'm matching it so that the lines go right in the same, and I'm pressing it down as much as I can to make it kind of disappear. Now, you could really do a good job of that if you took some pine stamp ink and edged the 2 white edges there, and then it would pretty much disappear completely. For some reason, I didn't do that, but I'm just saying that's a little trick that you can do if you cut something wrong like I did. And you know, like I said, you can do stuff and come up with a way of hiding boo-boos. So that's where I pulled off those pine tree strips, and I'm going to tuck that one underneath. I already put the one on the left-hand side in, and you can tell I put the 2 skies over there. And I just liked the way, I don't know, I was uncomfortable with the white space at the very top, so that's why I put a sky up there. Just, you don't have to do that. It was just one of those things for me. So I've decided to, instead of struggle with tucking, I'm just going to put the, whoops, put the trees down and then put the ripped piece on top. And that way you're not struggling to make it tuck under nicely. So I saw that there were consultants that sponged the tops of the pine trees there that die cut in pine ink to just kind of give them a more of a pine look, which is a good idea, and that would, you know, that would probably look real nice. What am I doing here? Who knows? Why am I taking that off? Oh, because I have it wonky. You know what? I had the white paper overlapping, thinking they were butted up together, and they weren't. So I put this whole piece on there wonky. And so you see this tool, that's a close to my heart tool. And you see how nicely it kind of got under the paper to pull it up. I mean, it hadn't been sitting there for a long time, so that helps. But that helped to pull the paper up with minimal damage to it. So there we go. And all better. And now everything is all straight. I was wondering why that was kind of looked off kilter up there. So now this go, so I'm using the outline, but there's actually another letter, solid letter on the inside. You could use that one too. So your choice, the outline or the solid letter. So now what I'm doing with the solid, I'm pulling out, see there's an outline on the inside of it. So I'm setting the solid part, and then I'm going to have to match up to put put a center on the go. And then I'm using my liquid Tombow to put it in place. I don't really, in the end, I don't really like exactly where I put this. You could totally, actually the instructions kind of show that it goes on the green part. I put it up in the sky. Don't know why. Just did. So I'm putting it up there. So that page is going to be go, and the next page is going to be do. And then I take that whole green piece there and I turn it into a journaling area. So if I had the go there, that would take up a lot of the journaling area. So, and here's the do that was also came off of the die cut sheet. So we kind of make, you know, with all these die cuts and with the stickers, you get a lot of titles that you can put on your pages. So it kind of takes the pain of putting titles together. You know, you can make it very easy for yourself. Trying to think of what to do. I've got to get my black picture frames on there. And I'm using the black because of the black and white piece there. And I think if I put green on green, it would be too much. Now, I'm not exactly sure why all of that got, it just magically appeared. So clearly some got missed. But I'm going ahead and putting the picture placeholders, and I'm using 3x3s, black to put some smaller pictures up top, and then this is going to be the 4x6 that's going to go with the two 3x3s on top of it. And then I've got a horizontal and a vertical with the little black, a little bit of black frame showing. I found this piece that's on the journaling area. I found it in my scraps, and it kind of has like a birch bark wood look. And so I thought that I would make a journaling sheet out of that. So I'm just kind of placing these, my picture frames, how I want it to look. So see a good portion of that area that is the split of the pine color. It's, you know, so it's kind of mostly hiding it. So not too bad. So I was going to use, I don't really like, the brushes are real pretty. They put a very smooth distress look on there. And I want something that's a little bit more rough and tumble. So I'm using the sponge rather than the brush. And I'm just adding a little bit of pine to the little banners. So I'm putting those up there, kind of layering them and then adding them together. And then I'm adding the distressing along what's going to be my journaling sheet. So I like this little piece that I found. Totally don't know when. It's probably pretty old. Don't know how long it's been around. For a long time, I'm sure. Just sitting waiting for me to find it. So I have 2 scrap areas. I have for big scraps, and then I have for smaller scraps. So it just kind of depends on what I'm looking for. So I've got the 2 3x3s going up there. Just kind of centering them over the 4x6. So I had a couple of my scrapbooking ladies over Monday night, and the one was asking about, she's doing a bunch of baby pages for her granddaughters. And, we were talking about journaling. And so I said, well, this is a super easy way of making a journaling little sheet. And so I found this old, this is really pretty old. It came with a Cricut cartridge. That's how old it was. And it's got a really great journaling thing. And the Cricut shape that goes with this looks like a little piece of torn out loose leaf. So it's real cute. Or not loose leaf, but a spiral notebook. And so I just went ahead and stamped the lines on there so I could do some journaling. And there's enough space above and below to add some stickers or whatever. And see what I still have quite a few things on there. So I like having, that is a really cool looking tree. I like that. And I like the compass on there for outdoor stuff. And then there's a little sun, kind of a sunrise or a sunset, whichever. And then we've got a star going there. So I've just added some little areas of interest onto my little journaling block and just kind of make it a little bit more interesting. And because I made my block so big that there was plenty of room on there, so it became its own little thing. And they have a couple of arrows on the sheet, so I'm going to use an arrow there, and I'm going to tuck a fern leaf. Got down there stuck pretty hard. So I'm going to put a fern leaf there. And I need to put that out of the way. I need to put something over the ends of those banners because I didn't cut them evenly. So I'm just wiping up the ink off of that stamp. So I can pull it off and put it back on its carrier sheet. So what am I going to put on there? See that little outline there? That shows you it's a little spiral thing. I'd have to go digging to find just exactly where in all of my my Cricut images that is. But it sure is cute. I didn't think about making it with a Cricut. But so what am I going to put there? I'm just like, I don't know. There's a cute little mountain thing. There's these little leaves. That's not bad. Like the little mountain thing with little leaves on top. Little star up there. Kind of brings the little black and white over. So there we go. I put my inks away, put my stuff away. So there we are. I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching.
Hi, I'm Dorothy Smith. Thanks for watching my video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and learn along with me. Thanks. Bye-bye.